Well, the other one was so much good information, Mitra. You're just like let's open up this knowledge box and let it all go. So I hope you don't mind us going with this. But
No,
the other one is potassium. Certainly, the effects of potassium levels raising and people being a little bit hesitant around that.
There's so little potassium. First of all, it's not just potassium. If you were to if you were to take a potassium pill or something, that'd be something else. But there's so little potassium in Juice Plus that it's inconsequential. Like it's not going to, affect any drugs where you're worried about potassium levels or any conditions where you're worried about potassium levels. And the thing is with Juice Plus, it's kind of like sea salt. It's like this balance of sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. All the minerals are balanced as in plants. So you're not getting this artificial spike in potassium. There isn't enough, and B, whatever there is, it's in balance with all these other minerals.
It's awesome.
That are found in plants.
Just while we're on the body issues topic, before we move on to all the awesome stuff about the product, the other two things that came up a lot were pregnancy. Is it safe throughout?
Yes, more than safe. You need it. Always take Juice Plus and all the products if you're pregnant.
what knowledge around that can you arm people with to give them that confidence and certainty?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen Dr. Odom's research. It's not one of the it's a retrospective study. That means it was like,
we got told we're not allowed to share it.
Yeah, I know. I share with people one-on-one. I just tell people, yeah, it's and I do have to update my pregnancy thing now that folic acid has changed a little bit with our products. But there's so many reasons you want Juice Plus. First of all, if you just think about the vineyard itself, pregnancy is a very vascular event because you have to push nutrients through the placenta into the baby. So that's more important than heart disease. Like it's really important that your blood vessels and everything are working properly. And vineyard has been shown to improve something called microcirculation, which is so amazing. So microcirculation is like really hard to change. Like in your skin, the capillaries that come very close to the surface are so teeny that only one blood cell at a time can push through. That's how teeny they are. And nothing can change that microcirculation that I know of other than taking vineyard. And the other thing is this mat I saw at a functional medicine conference that costs $10,000 and you have to lie on it for an hour a day. So I'm like, I'm just going to take my vineyard because I don't have an extra hour or an extra $10,000 to lie on some mat to increase my microcirculation. That's not really a viable solution. But vineyard affects microcirculation. So that means it really, really helps your arteries be very compliant. And when, for instance, when you have preeclampsia is hypertension in the mother, which creates an emergency situation. And what Dr. Odom showed is that hypertension, that he didn't see any cases of preeclampsia with the patients he put on Juice Plus, because the high blood pressure is if the nutrients aren't going through to it's almost like a plumbing problem. It's like a backup of blood pressure in the mother when the placenta is trying to push through nutrients to the baby and the arteries just aren't working right. The circulation isn't working right, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So when you take like a prenatal, all you're taking is it's a multi with, a bunch of folic acid in it. That is just so archaic in my mind. You really, and there's no bioavailability studies. Whereas when you take our Juice Plus, we know your folate goes up. Your folate levels in your blood actually go up when you take Juice Plus. So why take a multi when you can take a natural source of folate? Number one. Number two, there's been no studies with, preeclampsia, the third trimester, there's so many complications that can happen. And what Dr. Odom showed was like all those third trimester complications like preeclampsia and preterm delivery almost went away, with his patients that he put on Juice Plus. know it's a couple of hundred patients that he compared his patients to other patients in the clinic that were just taking the prenatals. So I've had 2 incredibly healthy babies, and having been in this business for 24 years, I have seen so many healthy babies that have now, like my kids are teenagers now. I mean, my youngest is, she's turning into a pretty damn good ice skater, and her secret weapon is Juice Plus. She won't tell her friends about it because she's like, why would I? That's my secret, man. As an athlete, I wouldn't tell my fellow skaters about it. And we've never had a pediatrician. I've never had to worry about their health as far as they've never even had an ear infection, to tell you the truth. So that's because they were Juice Plus babies. They had it from before sperm met egg, So, and there is something there's all these epigenetic studies now. So you inherit your DNA, but you also inherit something called your epigenome from your parents, which is like, so there's your DNA, and then there's like way more switches for your genes, if you will, your good genes and your bad genes. And that's the epigenome. And what we are seeing with the Juice Plus is Juice Plus upregulates good genes and turns on good genes and turns off bad genes. And that's very important during development. Like if you're even thinking about getting pregnant, both the mother-to-be and the father-to-be should be taking Juice Plus, because that genetics is going to affect the baby, from conception on. And that's the most important time to make, when there's no time in life that you need better nutrition than at the start of life. That's when you need the most amount of nutrition. So that's when the Juice Plus is going to make the biggest difference. So at least for the distributors, please, I don't know if you can convince all your prospects how important this is, but I will tell you, even if you're thinking about getting pregnant, you should be doubling up on your Juice Plus.